Hello and welcome to episode 2 of It's Called a Podcast, Sweetheart. I'm Andy Lagopus.
And I'm Pinkstar. Very glad to be here.
Glad to be back. And I just want to say thank you all so much for the great reception of the first episode.
Yeah, we'd love to read your comments on YouTube and see your reactions at the Zootopia anniversary when this podcast actually debuted. Was very glad to see all the positive feedback from everybody.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you all so much. And big shout out to all the people who joined over on Patreon. It means a lot. And it really helps us be able to keep this whole thing going. So, if you want to support us, just keep commenting, keep talking, and head on over to patreon.com/ZNN, and we'll see what we can do to make some rewards that are worth it.
So be ready for it.
We'll try to incorporate some of the stuff from these podcasts into the rewards if we can, and we just need, well, could use some suggestions, What would you guys like?
Someone is ringing the phone over here.
Oh, now I can hear it. If you want to hear any outcasts or bloopers that happen, we've got you covered.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny if you get to hear what happens behind the scenes of this podcast.
Exactly.
So be sure to comment on this video so we can know about your points of view about this topic.
Exactly. And speaking of comments, we have been reading all of them, like Pinkstar said. And I've seen like one or two suggestions for a book club idea, but we're looking for like a good couple more options. So we're still looking for ideas, so drop them down in the comments for what we should read for a book club episode.
And actually, about book clubs, we're going to be about talking about a topic that's related to reading.
Yes, we are. We're talking genres today.
Yeah,
Genres of fanfiction.
Yeah, previously we were talking about where were our favorite pieces of Zootopia content related to either drawings, comics, or even fanfics. So for now, we're going to be focusing on the fanfictions.
Yep. So, it's my word against yours. So, let's start out with my word and then yours. How's that sound?
Sure.
All right. So, today we're talking about slice of life and fluff. Two genres that I'm very sure that everyone here is familiar with. They are very prevalent in Zootopia fanfic.
Yeah, I don't know how much, mostly 85% of all the content is related to these two genres because obviously there are other Zootopia content. We actually previously mentioned that it's more tragic, that can be more angst, more of adventure. But yeah,
Mhm.
in general, most of the Zootopia content is about either fluff or slice of life.
And we don't have exact numbers on it, but hey, that actually might not be a bad idea. We could like go through our archive of the fics that we featured on ZNN and like go through and collect some data on which genres are most submitted. That could be interesting. We might try that. I'm not entirely sure. Sorry, ADHD brain just like thinking of like random side topic. Anyways,
But it's a nice idea that might be working later on.
yeah, we might circle around back to that. But for today, Webster's Dictionary defines slice of life as
objection, lame and unoriginal.
Whenever I think of slice of life, and this is my origins as a brony showing, and I think of the episode of My Little Pony where it is called Slice of Life, where in that episode, the main cast and characters are off having their adventure, but they're in the background, and all the background characters are the main characters of that episode. They're just going about their lives getting ready for a wedding, while the main cast is having like a big adventure in the background. everything just comes to a head and it's really funny, but it's called slice of life because it's just taking slice of normal everyday goings on in a town, in a city, what have you, and making that the story rather than focusing on the big action adventure or romance or what have you, you know?
Yeah. Well, if I can add my first approach on slice of life content, I will say early on when I was a little girl, when I watched Hey Arnold, that if you really
Yes,
think about it, it's a show with not actual plot. It's just the we see a young man, a little boy on his neighborhood when we learn about his grandparents, his neighbors, his classmates, and we see what activities they do on their daily lives.
exactly. Yeah, Hey Arnold is a perfect example of a slice of life show. What's the name of the show where it's like the pitch was it's a show about nothing?
Mm,
Um, I want to
doesn't
say
come to mind.
Seinfeld. I think it was Seinfeld that like that's the whole pitch of the show. It's a show about nothing. Nothing happens, and that's the fun of it. But it's not nothing, you know? Stuff happens in these stories, just
Yes.
nothing big or dramatic, you know?
Well, maybe in some occasions there are some dramatic stuff, and obviously, this slice of life also teach you important lesson lives.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. When it comes to Zootopia Slice of Life Fix, I've got to say there's one in particular that really stands out. It is called Different Tales from Variable Mammal. Have you heard of it?
Not sure actually.
Well, it's one that actually started being published back in 2016 and has been going up until 2023.
Wow. Up until last year. That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
Oh, yeah. It's got 217 chapters and over 500,000 words. But the thing is, they're just it's just a collection of like completely random slice of life stories. So I'm looking over some of the index a little bit that is on the first chapter, and it's things like why Nick wears ties. Nick and Judy get into a snowball fight in Tundra Town. Clawhauser is a very trusting soul. Nick and Judy think they should reward him by giving him something they know he'd like.
Oh
Um,
my god.
Even when the couple's knocked a couple drinks back, Nick puts up quite the swagger, but Chief Bogle can see a chink in his armor. Another story on this list is like, cute, that dreaded word.
Oh,
Mhm.
I you can't call the bunny cute.
No. And also Tales 1, 2. Tales involving tails. So,
Oh.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different variation, and then there's that's not even getting into the alternate universe or the side stories or like going about talking about the background characters like Apology. Gideon Gray wishes to repent for his former course of life. He starts by asking for Charlotte's forgiveness. See, that's a cute, like, just random side story that almost certainly happened in the universe of Zootopia, you know? Because
Okay.
Because Gideon Gray, he went to therapy, you know?
Yeah, that's actually pretty nice that he did.
Yeah. And he's like, well, he almost certainly went about and did his best to make amends with everyone local, you know?
Yeah, well, we see it on the movie now that he is working alongside Judy's parents. So yeah.
Mhm. Exactly. Exactly. All of that really encompasses kind of the genre of slice of life. If it's short stories, just stories about nothing with no real major plot moving forward, no real push for a narrative, just fun stories that are typical stuff that might happen in any everyday life, you know?
Yeah, yeah, like we have mentioned previously, like the TV shows we have probably watched either a normal TV series or a cartoon series. We just see the characters doing their activities on school, at work, when there's no an
Mhm.
actual plot, that there's a big mystery to solve, or a big change that shall happen in their city or something like that.
Exactly. Like a lot of sitcoms find themselves in that sort of slice of life type story, you know? Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That is the perfect
Yeah,
example
I was actually
of
also thinking of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yes, it is the perfect example of a police slice of life comedy.
Yeah, and actually there are have been a few crossovers of what was it called, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Zootopia fan content.
Yes, yes. As I've always said, if they ever like make a full show, you know, kind of like what they did with Tangled, it should be
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I also agree on that. That's
Mhm.
why I always thought that it would be great if Zootopia had a series on its own. Like, it's not that I'm happy. I'm not happy that there will be a sequel. Of course, I'm excited, but I
Oh yeah.
think because regarding it's not all just about Judy and Nick. We shouldn't forget about other characters such as their the other cops at the CPD, Bogo, Clawhauser, and also some of the different Zootopia citizens that we see on every district.
Exactly. Like, there's just so much potential for slice of life stories in Zootopia. There's so much life to take a slice of.
Exactly.
So, now, your word against yours. Let's
Oh,
talk about Fluff
oh
and
yeah.
how it's different.
Well, like I previously mentioned, there are very characteristic Zootopia content, like we made a shout out to in the previous podcast, that are dealing with things that are not actually like kind of like the slice of life content, but more of angst, more of a story that has suspense, mystery, like it deals with tons of difficult issues. It is the complete opposite of what Fluff is, which is
Mhm.
just cute stories about where everything is just very happy, and it gets you like fuzzy feelings on whenever you read it. Like it gives you peace when you are reading it. Like it feels you warm. Like it really brings a
Warm
smile out
fuzzies.
of, yeah, it brings you a smile. It makes you smile. Like it's so, like say it's so cute. I want to die. Some sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, give you the warm fuzzies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and obviously it's something
That's
that,
probably why it's called Fluff.
yeah, so fluffy, and so very well, perhaps maybe fluffy or fluffier than um I forget her name. Bellwether's
Bellwether?
wool. Bellwether's wool. Yeah,
Yes.
I was thinking about
So
Silena.
fluffy.
Exactly. But yeah, like something I like to point out about Fluff, like it's not like it's mainly focused on perhaps on romantic pairings, but it can also be used when it's about friendship, family, or just getting along with new people.
Mhm.
Like we know obviously in Zootopia fan content, obviously Fluff is mostly something we see when there's a story involving Judy and Nick in a romantic relationship perhaps. But
Yeah,
it,
mostly wild hops.
yeah, but not always it's about like that. Maybe also the fluff can be about Judy and her family. Maybe Nick reuniting with his mother, his friendship with Fennec, perhaps, or maybe even Judy being having a conversation maybe with Clawhauser or other of the CPT officers getting along, something stuff like that.
Have you got any stories that sort of exemplify the Fluff?
Well, it's actually there's a compilation that's called the Fluff Files by
Oh,
Zimmer.
Oh, okay.
by Simar of Tularis Wild Hops.
Yep. We interviewed him once.
But yeah, what stands out about the Fluff files that are different stories written by other authors. It's not only written by Simar.
Okay.
Like this story is this compilation is available in fanfiction.net, and there you
Mhm.
can see that there are lots of chapters, and every single one it's about fluffy moments between characters, not just Judy and Nick. Well, technically yes, but you also can see there are other characters sometimes involved in the story, and sometimes there are maybe a bit of a crossover, or sometimes it can be something completely that's uh, connected to Zootopia itself. But yeah, there are just so many cute stories involving the Zootopia characters we all love.
I guess that really kind of shows how these two genres kind of have a Venn diagram between them. So, like, on one side, you've got the slice of life, on the other side, you've got fluff, and there's a pretty decent amount of crossover between the two genres, you know?
Yeah, but both of them have their own charm. Both of these genres have their own charm, but also we like the starting point is that technically there is no big main plot at all in either of them. It's just about
Yeah,
enjoying the moment.
yeah, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, I guess fluff has a tendency to go more towards the romance novel sort of side of things, where the plot is about the romance and the relationship and stuff. But as you said, it doesn't have to be. It can be more on the slice of life side of things, where it is about just those fun, happy moments between characters.
Yeah, I will say that the good mix of both genres, and this I'm going back to something that previously mentioned on the first podcast, is precisely thicker than blood, because technically it starts out more as a slice of life story, but as the
Hmm.
story goes on, we see more um, moments where they have to solve tougher cases in Zootopia, but also the moments become even fluffier between the characters.
Let me remind me, what's that one?
Oh, it's the story where it picks up where the Night Howler case was solved.
Oh, right, the one you shared about last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes.
Where in this case we see kind of like a short speed up version of Nick getting into the Zootopia Police Academy, now then joining the CPD now as Judy's partner, and we see them solving cases in the city as if it were a slice of life. That's pretty much the early part of the story, but as it goes on, moments between them become fluffier until more feelings get involved between them. So yeah.
All right, I like it. Also, just a complete side note that we can keep in the episode, but I scroll down, I search Zootopia Thicker Than Blood, scroll down, we've got episode 1. Our last episode is on the Google thing, so it's on the Google. At this point, I mean, have we covered everything we need to? Like,
No, we should add something else. I feel the episode is a bit short.
it's too short, yeah.
Perhaps should bring out more examples of stories.
We're going to be talking about Christmas Needs More Cilantro from Qualcove. A bunch of her comics tend to be on the fluffy side, you know? So Christmas Needs More Cilantro, very fluffy. But her
Sure.
Uncle Nick series, the ones with cotton and such, very slice of life. Yeah, so for example, her Uncle Nick comic is very much about Cotton just coming over and Nick and Judy having to babysit.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm. And basically Cotton being like, "Are you two dating?" Like the way the little kids are, you know?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
How they question everything.
It's super cute, but it's also like complete slice of life. And honestly, like there are a couple there are other examples of like slice of life stuff, like uh even Zootopia Plus. The whole point of Zootopia Plus was that it was like the side stories, the background stuff, the other characters, and their kind of stories, and that really fits into the whole slice of life concept. The last one with Flash and Priscilla and Sam.
Oh, yeah, I totally get what you are saying. Like, like I mentioned earlier in the episode where I said like it will be cool if we'll have a Zootopia series where we see what happens after the movie. And well,
Mm.
Zootopia Plus is kind of like
Dinner
a
Rush.
yeah, but it's a smaller version of seeing stories with the side characters because we know that the movie focuses on Judy and Nick.
Exactly. And I mean, like, some of the episodes are more slice of life than others because they're supposed to be like imitating different styles of TV, different genres. Like, the Cop on Board is more action adventure because, like, Bonnie and Stu are on a rescue mission type thing.
Yep.
But then there's like the Real Rodents of Little Rodentia, which is just like frou frou and everything. Like it's a total reality TV show, but it's also it is slice of life. It's just like her getting ready for her wedding.
Yeah, something that we definitely see on the back is what we don't see what happened in the story because well we already know when she appears where Judy saved her life or when we see the actual wedding when they
Mm.
are just impromptu invited.
Yeah, exactly. Which is such a great part of the story. But yeah, the most slice of life of all of it is definitely Dinner Rush. Because it's just Sam working. Like, she's just at work. And Flash and Priscilla come in, and they have their whole thing.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
she's
just great.
like how do I deal with this pair of slots?
And I mean, it also introduces us to Sam, who is the best character to come from that, I must say.
That's also something that was pretty good of the Zootopia Plus series. That it was not just about the characters we already know about from the film, but also new characters that
Mhm.
perhaps they can also have a cameo in the sequel.
Yeah, I hope so. We'd better see some Sam. She's adorable.
That would be really great. Like
Mhm.
meeting either Judy and Nick or some of the either of the CPT officers, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have any examples of very fluffy comics?
Actually, this is about other authors we have previously talked about that are Colcom and the Wyvern Sweeper. That they
Yes.
also have their own besides Sunderance or
Mhm.
the Purple Tulip story that we have previously mentioned. There's also other short stories that can be technically also fluffy, like the Stroke of Midnight.
Oh yeah, that one. They have plenty of individual pieces of art and oh yeah, it's a story that goes along with the art.
Exactly.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Technically can count as kind of both, maybe.
Yeah, it's just the two of them dancing just randomly.
Yeah, and it can count as fluff, but they're not exactly together. So yeah, it
Mhm.
can also can count a bit of a slice of life.
Yeah, them just having a moment.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like something that takes a amount of time to happen. It can be something that it can only happen in 5 minutes or so.
Mhm. So yeah, there's another great example for you. Well, with that, I think we've pretty much covered the topic pretty well. Well, if you guys think of any other great examples of stories or comics or things where it is exemplifies fluff or really exemplifies slice of life, go ahead and share them in the comments.
We'll make sure also to check out what you guys will share with us.
And again, as a reminder, we are still looking for recommendations for a book club, so let us know.
Don't forget to like the podcast here on YouTube and also to subscribe to not be notified whenever a new podcast will be showed up on the channel.
Yeah, of course. We got to do the whole YouTube outro thing, you know? Like, comment, subscribe. Um, this has been fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope to see you all next time.
So till then.
Boom. Do we want to make that like a consistent thing?
Yep.
I don't know. Okay.
Technically, yeah,
Cut
because
it there. Cut it there.